Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the Bruce County Executive Committee meeting to order for this Thursday, October the 4th, 2018. And welcome everyone that's live streaming, joining us by live stream today. And first thing on the agenda is the declaration of pecuniary interest. I need to remind everyone it's our own responsibility to declare any pecuniary interest we may have. And information item is 2A, the Nuclear Innovation Institute update attached. Is anyone speaking to that? Or?
Through you, Mr. Warden, the team of Stelina Williams and Matthew Mead will do a presentation.
Oh, excellent.
Thank you. So on May 16th, as you know, Bruce Power and Bruce County announced the new partnership to establish Ontario's Nuclear Innovation Institute, and the proposed location is adjacent to the museum and cultural center, aligning it with the expansion of the archives. And so in order to start to gather feedback and surface any potential issues and concerns with the proposed location, we held 2 neighborhood information sessions, and we reported back to council on the feedback received on August 2nd. And we had highlighted a series of categories where there were concerns, and provided an overview of some of the mitigation strategies that we were going to move forward on in order to help to address those concerns. And on August 27th, the report was also brought to Saugeen Shores Council for their awareness. And during this delegation, Saugeen Shores Council provided comments in support of the project, the proposed location, our mitigation approach, and noted that there was significant and growing community support. In addition to these neighborhood information sessions and the council meetings, further engagement has been done by both Bruce Power and Bruce County with targeted stakeholder groups to raise awareness and gather and to continue to gather feedback on the institute. Throughout this engagement effort, we've received input both orally at events and different meetings, as well as in written form. And additional feedback received since August 2nd council update has been incorporated into the analysis of our mitigation strategies to identify how to address the concerns raised. So based on the feedback received and the new feedback received, no new categories of concerns were raised through these ongoing efforts. Rather, more clarification, I'd say, or details on or other options were provided within the 6 identified categories that we presented previously on August 2nd. And I should also note that in addition to the ongoing work that we're doing as it relates to the proposed location, Bruce County continues to engage Deloitte, and Bruce Power continues to do outreach to targeted stakeholders to inform the development of the operational and financial model as it relates to the Institute, the function of the Skilled Trade Secretariat, and the opportunities for the county to establish an incubator. So all of these areas continue to be developed in addition to the details. So in addition, these details will be provided at a later council date, but the intent of this report today is to really provide an update on the progress as it relates to the proposed location, and the 6 areas of interest noted here, which are access to project information, building design details, the museum expansion, the preservation of heritage, parking and traffic, and aesthetics. So for the first category, an update on what's been done to date. In response to public feedback, that information on the Institute be made available to the public and updated as new information is available. A new website is in the final stages of being developed, and it will be live in advance of the next community information session. The website will also include details on the proposed location, the materials that have been used during the neighborhood information sessions, any media releases issued, and any background information we have on the Institute. And as more information becomes available, we will continue to update the website. In addition to the website, we're also working on a logo and a brand for the Institute, which is currently under development. And we'll be holding some targeted demographic focus group sessions to really get some feedback on the brand before we launch it with the website. So it's not live yet, but it will be shortly. We're currently just working on finalizing it. For the building design details, we're working with an architectural firm to develop the conceptual drawings for both the museum expansion and the Innovation Institute. The preliminary interior floor plan layouts include the following for the museum expansion: just over 9,000 square feet for the archive storage, the research room, processing and special projects, the archivist office, the assistant archivist office, just over 2,000 square feet for the community voices gallery and classrooms, and around 2,000 square feet for support services like reception, washrooms, coat room. And in keeping with the previous communications, it is anticipated that the Innovation Institute portion will not exceed 30,000 square feet, and the preliminary interior floor plan layouts include the following: around 13,500 square feet, which will be dedicated to innovation space. So this would be large open spaces that can be like multi-purpose spaces and can be reconfigured for collaboration teams, meetings, events, networking. Just over 2,000 square feet of an open area for reception, kind of like a sitting area, like a lounge, a cafe, maybe a conference room or a classroom, kind of open space for visitors and guests. Around 1,600 square feet for staff offices and the Skilled Trade Secretariat office. Around 1,800 square feet for an incubator, accelerator, and innovation lab space, and 1,800 square feet for support services. So many of these spaces can be shared spaces and multi-purpose spaces utilized by both the museum and the Institute. So in addition to the interior floor plan layout, we are working with the architectural firm to design the exterior of the building, and we continue to take the following into consideration during the design process: a height that's in line with the current buildings in the area, a design that helps ensure adequate green space and access to Ferry Lake, because we heard that quite a bit from the community, a building that's very open and flows nicely into the existing landscape, keeping in mind, the architectural makeup of the current museum, kind of the older part of the museum and the as well as the previous expansion, and options that would incorporate heritage features from the existing house into the design, which could be options to incorporate it into the interior of the building. So draft exterior conceptual drawings along with the interior floor plan layouts will be ready for presentation to the community during the next information open house, community information open house, which Matt will speak to in more detail. And I'll pass it to Matt to provide the rest of the update.
Good morning. So picking up where Stelina's left off, the next update is around the museum expansion, the archive, and the community wing. And so the expansion of the archives continues to remain an important part of this project and is included in the overall vision of a campus-style community center that incorporates the Institute into its landscape. The same architectural firm has developed floor plan layouts for the museum expansion, ensuring a collaborative development where there are multiple shared spaces to minimize duplication, reducing overall footprint requirements, and creating a cost-effective building management and operational design. Up next is the update on the incorporation of heritage. So as Stelina noted in her update on building design details, conceptual drawings will take into account incorporating heritage features into the building design. Additionally, a stage 1 and 2 archaeological assessment of the property at 254 High Street in Southampton was conducted by Scarlett Janusis Archaeology Incorporated on September 5th of this year, and her full report is attached as Appendix B. No archaeological materials or features were located during the assessment. The Saugeen Ojibwe Nation was engaged as part of this archaeological assessment, and a SON archaeological monitor was present on the study site during the archaeological investigations. No specific concerns were noted by the monitor, and SON is now in receipt of the report and is reviewing the study. Based on the background research of past and present conditions and the results of the archaeological assessment, the consultant has 2 recommendations. 1, no further archaeological assessment is required for the study area. And 2, compliance with legislation must be adhered to in the event of discovery of deeply buried cultural materials or features. Further, a request for expedited processing has been submitted along with our archaeological assessment to the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Sport And our intention is to bring this registered archaeological assessment back to the community as part of our planned community open house on October 16th. Up next is an update on our parking and traffic mitigation efforts. So Paradigm Transportation Solutions Limited has been retained to undertake a transportation impact study, a parking study, and a complete street conceptual design. Their preliminary work plan is attached to this report as Appendix C. The transportation impact study will evaluate the effects of the proposed development on the transportation system and recommend improvements, if necessary, to address potential impacts. Traffic forecasts and analysis will be completed for a 5-year planning horizon and 2 analysis periods, so peak times both in the morning and in the afternoon. The study area will include 6 intersections total, including both major intersections on Victoria Street North as well as existing driveways. The parking study will estimate the parking demand generated by the proposed development based on our estimations of 40 to 50 users and visitors as a maximum to the Nuclear Innovation Institute. And will establish the number of parking spaces that should be provided, recognizing site constraints and local conditions. If needed, a strategy will be developed to satisfy the parking demands of the proposed development. Last but not least is the complete streets conceptual design. So the conceptual design of Victoria Street North near the museum will illustrate the application of complete street principles for Victoria Street North as described in the Complete Streets Policy and Implementation Guide for Grey Bruce. The anticipated timeline for completion of this study is the beginning of November, and preliminary results, in particular as they relate to the transportation impact study and the parking study, will be made available during our October 16th public information open house. Up next is an update on maintenance of neighborhood aesthetics. So the new build will be in keeping with the existing built form of the museum and incorporate and enhance the idyllic setting of Fairy Lake. As Stelina noted in her update on building design details, conceptual drawings will show building height, green space, and access to Fairy Lake, as well as a building that is open and flows nicely into the existing landscape. So our community information open house will take place on October 16th of this year from 6 to 8 at the Plex in Port Elgin upstairs in the Rotary Hall. During the August 27th delegation to Saugeen Shores Council, it was recommended that the fall session take place in a larger facility and invitations be extended to the town of Saugeen Shores to raise broader community awareness about the project and the proposed location. Invitations to attend the Community Information Open House have been sent to our existing contact list, which includes the Southampton Residents Association, both BIAs, the Saugeen Shores Chamber of Commerce, J.C. Hewson Public School, the Historic Saugeen Métis, Indigenous Economic Development Officers, the 2 school boards, and the 3 neighboring churches, as well as all participants who have attended the first 2 neighborhood sessions or provided feedback via email. Invitations have also been extended by requesting that Saugeen Shores councillors share details with their constituents, by promoting the open house on both the Bruce County Museum and Cultural Center as well as the Town of Saugeen Shores website and social media platforms. We've also requested posting advertisements in Saugeen Shores newspapers, so both online and in print, and issued a media notice to radio outlets in the area, and requested regular circulation of the open house advertisement on cable TV's Channel 1, the Community Bulletin Board. We're also working with, to develop a podcast as part of the Shore Report with Saugeen Shores staff. So during the October 16th Community Information Open House, we will host a series of stations on the topics raised through our community engagement efforts thus far, with staff on hand to provide additional information and to respond to any questions that may come up. Our planned approach includes the following 5 stations. So Station 1, access to project information. This station will provide details on the website, the Institute brand, and other materials that provide additional information and background, so things like an information sheet or a frequently asked question sheet. Station 2, building design details. This station will showcase interior drawings highlighting the building proposed floor plan layout with details on the Institute's purpose and uses. Station 3, the museum expansion, the archive, and community wing. This station will provide information on current plans for the museum expansion and how it aligns with the Institute. Station 4, traffic and parking. Paradigm consultants will be on hand to respond to questions about the traffic and parking analysis to date and make preliminary findings available. Station 5 is a combination of both preservation of heritage and maintenance of neighborhood aesthetics, and conceptual drawings of the interior and exterior of the building will be presented to the public, showcasing both the incorporation of heritage and aesthetics. So next steps. So following the October 16th Community Information House, open house, additional feedback and input on the above categories will be reviewed, assessed, and compiled to inform the final decision on the location. We'll return to Executive Committee in late 2018 or early 2019 with a proposed operational model, governance structure, financial model, and details of the capital campaign, which will incorporate current work undertaken by Deloitte, targeted stakeholder dialogues, and work currently underway within Bruce Power. So that concludes our presentation for this morning. Thank you all very much.
Thank you for your presentation. Does anyone have any questions of the presenters this morning? Comments? Suggestions? Mike?
Thanks, Mr. Warren. Just a comment. I think we're really on a really good path here now with the information that you're going to present on the 16th. I think if there was, this idea has been floating around in the community, and there's been a whole lot of questions asked that we really couldn't give you any definitive answer. I think you're getting closer to that. And with that, I think you'll be much more successful, because there is a great deal of support in the community, but there's some questions about, the design and all of them. You've raised them here. You've raised them there, those 6 steps, and I'm really looking forward to the 16th. It should be a great night.
Thank you, Mayor Mike. Any other questions or comments? If not, thanks again for your presentation, and look forward to a successful evening on October the 16th.
Great, thank you very much.
Next item on the agenda is we need a motion to move to act on the recommendations that in accordance with the procedural bylaw, staff be authorized and directed to give effect to the actions of the Executive Committee in respect to all resolutions passed during the October 4th meeting. Moved by Robert, second by David. Any discussion? That's carried. Oh, I'm saying all in favor. That's carried. Next meeting is November the 1st. And if there's nothing further, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Ann, second by Mike. Any discussion? All those in favor? We're adjourned. Thank you.